everyone, welcome back to Asvab Tutoring. In today's video, we're tackling 12 Asvab math knowledge questions, all focused on one key skill, solving equations. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to handle any type of algebraic equation that shows up on the Asvab. Make sure to watch this video a few times and try the practice questions at the end. That's how you'll really lock in what you learn. Here at Asvab Tutoring, we've helped over 11,000 applicants boost their scores, and we're proud to work with the U.S. Air Force to help their applicants succeed too. If you want to take your prep to the next level, you can request a one-to-one tutor or study on your own with one of our Asvab test prep apps. All right, let's dive in and start solving.
In this question, we'll learn x minus 5 equal to 4. Solve for x. This is a simple algebraic equation you might see on the actual test. So let's solve it. So I have x minus 5 equal to 4. So what you have to do, you have to add 5 both sides, because you have to do the opposite operation in order to eliminate this 5. So this 5 cancel out. That gives you x equal to 5 plus 4 is 9. So the correct answer is option D. The question asked here, 5x minus 9 equal to 3x plus 5. Solve for x, right? So in order to solve this, let me write that down. So you have 5x minus 9 equal to 3x plus 5. If you want to solve this type of equation, make sure that you bring the variable one side and bring the constant to the other side. So it has a mix. So let's eliminate the number first. So in order to eliminate, you have to do the opposite operation on both sides. So add both sides by 9. So that side, this 9 cancel out. Then you have this side is 5x. The other side you have 3x plus 9 plus 5 is 14, right? So now what you have to subtract both sides by 3x, because you have to eliminate variable from one side, right? So let's do that. 3x here. If you do that, so 3x cancel out. So then you have 2x equal to 14. Same thing, you have to do the opposite operation in order to eliminate this 2. So divide both sides by 2. Both sides by 2. That gives you x equal to 7. So the correct answer is option C. Let's practice this math knowledge question for the Asvab, PyCat, Cat IB, AFQT, AFCT and Asvab GT. The question asked here, negative 3x minus 1 plus 2x equal x plus 5. Solve for the x. So it is similar problem that you did the previous one, but a little bit difficult, right? Make sure that you practice multiple times. So in order to solve this problem, if you have any algebraic equation with multiple variables, right, make sure that you combine the variable first before you eliminate. So let's do that. So if you combine these two, so you know that if you have a same sign in the front, you have to add. If you have a different sign in the front, that means you have to subtract from the big number to a small number. So that gives you 3x minus 2x gives you negative x minus 1 equal to x plus 5, right? So now what you need to do, you have to subtract both sides by x to eliminate. Let's do that. So x cancel out. So you have negative 2x minus 1 equal to 5. So what you have to do now, you have to add both sides by 1. Add both sides by 1. This 1 cancel out. So that gives you negative 2x equal to 6. So you have to eliminate 2. So that means 2 times x, right? So what you have to do, you have to do the opposite operation. That means you have to divide. Divide both sides by negative 2. Negative 2 cancel out. That gives you x equal to 6 divided by negative 2. That gives you negative 3. So the correct answer is option A. Let's practice this math knowledge question for the Asvab, PyCat, Cat IB, AFQT, AFCT and Asvab GT. The question asked here, AB equal to dx, solve for the D. When it comes to solving the equation, people think that I always have to solve for x. that is not true for this case. So whatever you have to solve, that is your variable. The rest of them are constant. Okay. So now people also think that always my variable will be the left side, but that is also not true. Like this case, right? So I have to solve for d. So my d is actually right side. So ab equal to dx equal to same thing as dx equal to ab. You could write that in here. So you have dx equal to AB, and if you want to solve for D, you have to divide by the other things you have to eliminate. Okay, so you have to divide both sides by x. Divide both sides by x. So x cancel out. So D equal to AB over x. So that is the answer option. So the correct answer is option B. Make sure that you practice multiple times to get used to that type of problem, so you could solve any kind of problem with just for the letters. Let's practice this math knowledge question for the Asvab, PyCat, Cat IB, AFQT, AFCT, and Asvab GT. The question asks here, if negative 2 times 2x minus 11 equal negative 3 times x minus 6, then what is the value of x? So you have to solve this equation. Make sure that you watch the video carefully and practice multiple times in order to get used to with solving this type of problem. Most likely you see a few solving equation problem in the actual Asvab test. So let's do that. First of all, what you have to do, you have to simplify that. Let me just write that down. So negative 2 times 2x, that gives you negative 4x. Negative times negative becomes positive 22 equal negative 3x plus 18, right? So what you have to do, you have to eliminate. So add both sides by 3x. Add both sides by 3x. So 3x cancel out here. So I have here negative x plus 22 equal to 18, right? So what you have to do, subtract both sides by 22 now. 22, right? So 22 cancel out. So that gives you negative x equal to 22 minus 18 is 4. So negative 4, divide both sides by negative 1, then x equal to positive 1, because negative divided by negative is positive. So the correct answer is option D. The question asks here, if y over 4 plus 5 equal to negative 9, then y equal to what? So you see here we have a fraction with number, right? So in order to do that, let me write down the problem here. Y over 4 plus 5 equal to negative 9. The first, what you have to subtract both sides by 5. So let's do that. 5 cancel out. So you have y over 4 equal to 9 plus 5 is negative 14, right? Now if you cross multiply that, that gives you y equal to negative 56. So the correct answer is option A. The question asks here, if 3x minus 1 is greater than equal to 20, what is the value of x? So let's do that. It's a very simple problem. So let me write that down. The question, you have 3x minus 1 greater than equal 20. Add both sides by 1. This 1 cancel out. So that gives you 3x is greater than equal 21. Divided both sides by 3. Then 3 cancel out. X is greater than or equal 7. So the correct answer is option B. Let's practice this Asvab math knowledge question for the Asvab, PyCat, Cat IB, AFQT, AFCT, and Asvab GT. The question asks here, solve for x where x squared plus 7x plus 10 equal 0, right? So in order to solve this problem, so what you have to do, you have to first factorize this quadratic equation, right? So in order to factorize, let me write that down how you could do that. You have x is squared plus 7x plus 10 equal to 0, right? So what do you have to do first? So let's look at the the coefficient of x squared and multiply with the last number, right? So 10 times 1 is 10. Now you have to split that 10 in a such a way that if you add or subtract, you get 7, and if you multiply, gives you 10. So start always with 2. So you could hear 10 divided by 2 is 5. So now you could see here 5 times 2 is 10, 5 plus 2 is 7. So let's rewrite that. So that gives you x squared plus 5x plus 2x plus 10 equal to 0. So what you have to do next, you have to take the common from this and that. So in here you have the common x, then you have x plus 5, take 2 common, that gives you x plus 5 equal 0, right? Now if you take the common, that gives you x plus 5 equal times x plus 2 equal to 0, right? So now the product of two factors equal to 0, and then they are individually are 0. So that gives you x plus 5 equal to 0 and x plus 2 equal to 0, right? If you solve that, that gives you, subtract both sides by 5, that gives you x equal to -5 here and x equal to -2 here, right? So with that, the correct answer is option B. So the question asked here, solve for A where 3a cubed equal to 81, right? So in order to solve this problem, let me write that down in here. That gives you 3a to the power third power equal to 81. So first, what you have to do, you have to divide both sides by 3. Let's do that. 3 cancel out, so that gives you a cubed equal to 83 by 1. So let's divide in here. So 81, right? So 3 goes into 8 is twice, so 3 times 2 is 6 here. Subtract, you get 2. Bring this one down. 3 goes into 21. How many times? 7 times, right? So a cubed equal to 27. Now a equal cube root of 27. So in order to solve this problem, easy way you could do it, let's look at the answer option. Pick a number, multiply by itself, gives you 27. So if you do 3, so 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, right? So the correct answer is 3, right? If it doesn't go 3, then check all of them. So one of them has to be a number multiplied by itself 3 times, gives you 27. With that, the correct answer is option A. So the question asked here, solve for n where 5 to the power n minus 4 equal to 125. So in order to solve this type of problem, what you have to do, you have to know a formula. The formula is if a to the power x equal to a to the power n, then you could write x equal to n, where a is called the base and this x and n are called the exponent. So what you have to do, you have to write the right side one in terms of 5, right? So 125 you could write 5 times 5 times 5, so that is 5 to the power third power, right? Let's do that now again here. 5 to the power n minus 4 equal to 5 to the power third power, right? So now you could see here both of the base are the same, then you could write n minus 4 equal to 3, right? Now solve the regular way, add both sides by 4, add both sides by 4. This 4 cancel out, so that gives you n equal to 3 plus 4 is 7. So the correct answer is option B. This question says here x plus y equal to 8, x minus 4 equal to 4. So this is called systems of equation. That means two equation, two unknown, right? So let's solve this problem easy way. So let me write that down. You have x plus y equal to 8, x minus y equal to 4. So in order to solve this, you have to eliminate one of those variables. But in here, you could look at it here. So x plus y. So if you combine these two equations, you could eliminate y. So let's do that. This cancel out. So that gives you x plus x is 2x, and 8 plus 4 is 12. So now divide both sides by 2. Divide both sides by 2. 2 to cancel out. So that gives you x equal to 6. So the correct answer is option D. The question asked here, solve for b over 2 plus b over 3 equal to 1. So first of all, make sure that you watch the video multiple times. This is a little bit challenging question than the previous one, and also in order to get 100% out of this video, make sure that you practice multiple times. Practice. In order to get high score, you have to practice. Okay, so let's do that. So first of all, in order to solve this problem, we have to combine the b over 2 and b over 3, right? So this is the same as a fraction. If you want to add a fraction, the first of all you have to find the common denominator. So here is denominator 6. So let me write that down, 6 here, 6 there. So what you need to multiply 2 to get 6, multiply that by 3. Do the exactly same thing on the top. So 3 times b is 3b, and then multiply that by 2, so that gives you 2b equal to 1. Now combine these terms, so that gives you 5b over 6 equal to 1. So now what you have to do, you have to cross multiply, right? So that gives you 5b equal to 6, divided both sides by 5, 5 cancel out. That gives you b equal to 6 over 5. So the correct answer is option B. If you like the video, give us a like, comment or share to get more video like